Not the best of breaks there, though.
There's two ways to execute a cut break. Generally speaking, that's a 3/4 ball hit medium hard with body action, or cutting it a little more, spinning the cue ball, just like Mika Immonen did. It's more like a soft medium hit. And I think the latter is harder to execute consistently. He has a shot on the one, and he has Efren as an opponent. Does he want to get involved into a safety battle? He did win the last one. Makes a world of difference how close you position that cue ball behind the blocking ball. I don't think Efren has a route in between the rail and the 4 ball. He's massaging into the rail. What a shot. Great shot. Actually, I must say it is a great shot, but the rail in this case helps. It makes it easier for that cue ball to hook towards that 1 ball.
Well, they call him the magician, and we've just seen one of his tricks.
Looking at a containing safety, at least the object ball safe, and maybe the bonus. A 2-rail escape over the right side of the table for Efren. He's favorite to hit the 1 ball, but of course he would like to play a resave to make something happen here. Travel towards the 4. Wow, what a shot by Efren. He chose a more difficult path, 1 rail, but with a bigger probability of getting lucky. That's what he always says. I got lucky, but the more I practice, the luckier I get.
Nearly. But the cue ball jarring in the jaws of that top pocket has really helped Efren Reyes. Really helped. His tactical mastery and ability to see a shot that no one else can, I think, is unparalleled. There, though, fortune helped.
Yeah, beautiful. You can't beat that. A big miss there by Mika. It was not an easy shot. You'd expect him to make it.
Yes, especially after the momentum gain from that one. And so Reyes should have the simplest of propositions to run out and make it 2-1. We were talking about the World Cup of Pool right at the start of this match, of course, Alex. Efren Reyes and Francisco Bustamante won the inaugural World Cup of Pool. and their popularity in their native Philippines knows no bounds. Put the shoulder into that, not exactly technically textbook, but it worked.
It's not a jury sport.
It sure isn't, but there.
With the break and on the hill.
Here's what it comes down to right here. Watch out for the cue ball. Look at here. He has to come with a shot, I think. The 3 ball comes over to the rail, and
wow.
We have action. He made 3 balls on the break. He made the 1, the 2, and the 8. And here's the 3 ball and the 4 ball together. Here's the cue ball. So Efren may have gotten the break. He may play the combination here, the 3 into the 4, and try to make the 4 in the corner. And that's what he's looking at right now. If he makes this, Mitch, it's going to be all over.
Showtime?
Yeah, and this is not an easy shot.
Well, we saw him come with one in the game previous.
Wow, he made it, but he didn't play position on the 3. Made a nice shot, but he didn't play any position. So now he's faced with a safety, unless he wants to get very offensive. Now, here's the cue ball, and here's the 3. You can send the 3 ball down table and bring the cue ball back over in this area. Or he could just try to bank the 3 and become very offensive. But I think he's going to try to play safe, bring the cue ball over maybe behind the 6, or just bring the 3 ball down table. This is very important. He'll take a
Takes his timeout.
This could be the whole match right here.
Yeah, but you know what? We have alternated racks now for the last 5 racks. And I have no clue what's going to happen now.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Sometimes you get a feel for it, but right now I have no idea.
There's nothing wrong with that right there.
Yeah, I know.
Efren has to come with a shot. And he's going to probably try to play a bank shot, trying to bank the 3, or just play as the 5 ball, the 3 into the 5. Whatever he does, it's not going to be an easy shot.
How do you like
And
it?
he made a great shot by Efren. There's a sign of a champion, Mitch, right there.
Man. And trust me, he is right back in this match right now. This is exactly what I was talking about. Unbelievable format where you can have this kind of back and forth action.
Excellent shot he made. And he has a nice layout here with the 6 ball. He just stopped the cue ball right there for the 7 ball on the side. Won't take any. Oh, he drew the ball back. Okay, he doesn't want to take any chances of not being good on the 7. So I think he's a little pumped up, I'll tell you the truth.
He is, but I'm just wondering, let's see if he calls it. The crowd's going to start yelling. There he goes. And there was no doubt about that one. And this is what we've been waiting for. $50,000 winner-take-all prize money. And you bet people like watching it.
Oh, Mitch, a big break for Mika because Efren failed to make the 1 ball inside.
And that's the first time in a long time that happened.
Right, here's the 1 ball and here's the cue ball. He's going to pocket the 1 ball in the corner pocket. And the 2 ball is downtown. That's his concern about where to get with the cue ball. He's looking right now because here's the 2 ball. So he needs to come somewhere in the area where his hand is right now for the 2 ball. There comes the cue ball back over. Is it too hard? And slow down. Slow down. Oh, boy.
Shaking his head and walking around the table. I'm thinking that you know he wasn't happy that it drifted that far.
Look at this. Maybe in the side. Oh. But he was playing safe there, Mitch.
Well, you know what, though? He walked very quickly. Not like he was leaving the table, Alan.
No.
Now, he might have taken a safe, but it sure, maybe in his mind, this is how he's pumping himself up. But it sure looked like he meant to do it.
Well, there's a nice shot right there.
And what we're talking about is starting to happen, which is it turns a little bit. Efren doesn't make a ball on the break for the first time, as I said, in a long time. And all of a sudden,
match is turned around.
You're down 3-0 and get one back. And if he can just finish this rack off, he'd get it back to 2-3. And then he would have the break to try to even the match. So when you've got players of this caliber, Alan, we talk about this all the time. Anything can happen.
Especially with $50,000 on the line and 2 players that are used to playing for big money. I mean, Mika's won some big tournaments. The World Championship was $50,000-$60,000 first prize, and Efren also has played for big money, so in tournaments. Now Mika has a nice shot on the 7 ball to just drift the cue ball down table for the 8 ball. He'll bring the ball down in this area here for the 8 ball.
And he's liking it right now. Very confident at the table. Playing great shape. And he's saying, okay, it may be Efren Reyes, But my name is Mika.
It works as a booster of confidence. If you know that you have figured out the break and the speed and that you will be getting shots, that gives a lot of confidence. Add to that Efren Reyes not getting position on the first shot after the break a couple of times. The 4 and 7, good place to hide behind. Doesn't need to attack from here.
And the 8 comes into the equation also.
He did it. I think he did it.
Well, from Immonen's body language and that of Reyes, I don't think the snooker is there. I think Immonen can get through to the 2-ball. Just thinking, you know, as Reyes went back to his chair there, it's impossible to calculate how many racks of pool he must have played in his life. He must have come across virtually every eventuality and then played in some extraordinary venues, both in tournaments and for hard cash. What a story he could tell. And after that, he might be playing for a while longer here in Barnsley. The 3 will pot. It's tough, but it goes.
Intriguing choice of shot by Immonen. He had a straight shot on the 2, could have played a draw shot to leave himself straight on the 3, which seemed to pass the 9-ball. Never threatened to the pocket, Efren Reyes. And that is the harsh part, that with age his B game is weakening. But now and then, once and again, he can still bring his A game. So it's very tough for him, I suspect, to accept the lack of consistency.
Yes, Reyes falling victim to exactly the same thing that snooker players find themselves falling victim to as they get older. Even the very best, their potting from distance and also their ability to concentrate for sustained periods declines. People assume that pool players and aging snooker players aren't so successful as the years go by because of deteriorating eyesight. It is a factor, but I think more important, the ability or the lack of ability to concentrate, and the fact that the pots go astray. Plus, of course, you pick up more and more mental scar tissue.
So here we have it. Efren now needing a lot of action on the cue ball over distance. He cannot play it with topspin, it will kill the cue ball there. Oh, did he make that look easy? He cheated the pocket there, pocketing the 3-ball in the side of the pocket, thereby creating an angle and enabling him to hit it with stun draw and a lot of left-hand side.
All of those hours and hours of playing as a youngster, a teenager, then in his prime. And now when he's regarded as a grand old master of the game. And regardless of the result here, it's great to see him back on British shores.
Using his stroke not to force the angle, but to control the angle. Top players leave angles. They try to avoid the position like this. Immonen had a shot for the match. It was that long cut on the 3-ball, which he mishit. So after all the mistakes, it will be 7-6.
Efren again with that one on the break is starting to mount. You'll feel it so far. It doesn't seem like Efren's felt it too much, Alan, but I know he's thinking about it.
Well, it's very fortunate for Mika because the 2 and the 3 are tied up. There's the cue ball, and they're tied up, so he's going to probably play a bank shot on the 2. And he's lucky.
Off the 5?
Well, I don't think he really meant to play it that way, but it counts.
He's smiling because it happened before, and he said, all right, I'll take him if I have to.
How are they rolling for Efren Reyes?
Oh, man.
Here's another bank shot. He's going to bank the 3-ball cross side.
We'll just show it to you all right now.
Just keeps on happening. It's like a nightmare. I mean,
Efren got here in this very tough format of champions from around the world by defeating Niels Fien, 2001 Netherlands 9-ball champion, and then defeating Xiaolang Feng of Taiwan 2-0. In their semifinal match, looking very strong all the way. Nothing has deterred him so far. He knows how to play for big money, Alan. We've talked about it before. He really rises when there's a lot on the line.
And he can play pool, too. Here you're going to see a nice 6-ball where he's going to drift the cue ball over to the side rail and play the 7-ball in the same pocket. Excellent cue ball control for Efren Reyes.
Now, what's going to be interesting to me in terms of, because obviously Efren's playing and he's playing well. He's about to go up 3-0 on Mika. If you're Mika and you've got to get back to the table, it's hard to stem this tide. It's going to take a lot for Mika to really change the momentum here.
It's torture, Mitch, and you have to sit there and watch your opponent run out. There's nothing you can do about it, but wait your turn. It's torturous, but he will be okay. In other words, he's used to this.
Certainly, he knows it's the game.